Hi, welcome to the show. My name is Brandon Fertig and this is Minneapolis Expression. Today we have on a guest who is quite a pet lover. And if you at home are a pet lover yourself, you'll be interested in hearing a little bit about today's guests. I have on Angie Gwiazdon.
Yes, hello, I'm Angie Gwiazdon and I am the owner and founder of Canine Connection. You want me to talk about what I do, or are you going to ask
go ahead,
me?
please.
Okay. Canine Connection is, I have a company that provides dog-friendly events. And so whether that means you're somebody that feels guilty leaving your dog at home, once you've had a long day at work, you want to go out for happy hour, but gosh, you got to go home and let out the dog, you can bring your dog with to my events. So I will rent out bars. It'll be closed for private party. You can bring your dog along. I do all kinds of a fun variety of social events, as well as some single events. So those of you looking for love, there's no better icebreaker than your dog. Speed dating with your dog would be my singles events. And also lately I have included fitness with your dog. So now offering Doga, which is yoga with your dog.
Do you have a dog?
Of course I have a dog.
Just checking.
Yes.
I was going to kick you out if you didn't.
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah. Well, what gave you the idea for this?
Yeah, they always talk about do what you love, right? And these are really combining all of my passions. Dogs,
events,
people, bringing people together, event planning, matchmaking. All of that. Love it. Those are the things that I love to do.
Were you the matchmaker in high school that everyone went to?
I still am. I can't get away from it.
You are still a matchmaker. You have your single events.
Yes.
Do the dogs like it?
Dogs love it. Are you kidding me? They don't want to be left at home.
I don't know,
They get to make friends. They get all kinds of attention from people. There's always fabulous treats for them. Yeah, they love it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? You do not have to have a dog. You just have to love dogs to come to my events. That's the only requirement. So it's for dog lovers. Yes, always. Lots of animals growing up. Cats, dogs, guinea pigs, birds, fish.
Farm?
No. St. Louis Park. So just right
park,
out of the city. Yeah, but
okay.
Animals have always been a big part of my life.
All right. Well, so you help dog owners connect, at
Yes.
least through these. Well, you help dog owners connect. Period. Whether it's with the community or whether it's with another single dog owner, or whether it's just a social event with people and dogs.
Yeah.
Do you, what are some of the planning a social event or planning a singles event, has its own challenges, and there's always the element of people. There's some of the obvious ones I can think of that would be added with the dog owner and with the dogs present. But are you pleased with the outcome of the of what dogs add and versus what they might take away from the event?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have been, and the common question that I get asked when I've been interviewed or just telling people what I do is, isn't there dog fights all of the time and huge messes, and don't they trash the place? And absolutely not. I was just showing you pictures on my site at the Varsity Theater, which is this beautiful place,
nice
right?
place, yeah.
I mean, gorgeous rugs and furniture.
They didn't hesitate to have you come?
Did not hesitate, and there was not any problems at all. They welcomed us to do an event there at any time. Dogs are really, people know their dogs very well, and if people are going to go out with their dogs, they tend to be dogs that are well behaved.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because I know the Varsity Theater, they have, it's not super duper nice, but they have nice furniture.
They
and
do.
They have a very visual environment. It's very nice. And I just think back to the dogs that my family have had and my friends have had, and God, they just chew things up and they scratch and they're destructive.
Yeah.
And so I would think at first, if I were the owner of the Varsity Theater, I'd be like, oh God, no. But you're right. If you're willing to bring your dog out in public, you must have a pretty secure idea of what your dog is going to do, and that's what you find.
Yeah, I have very rarely had problems. There's a few times where I've had to play bouncer and ask a person and dog to leave.
The dog was drunk.
Yeah, getting a little out of hand, hitting on the other dogs a little bit too much, had to draw the line. So, no, but it's been a very rare occasion that there's been any difficulties with major accidents, damages, or fights. So the dogs tend to do really well. People love to be out with their dogs. It's like, you think about it, and people can be out with their kids. Bring them anywhere, right?
Do people like to be out with their dogs? And I suppose your events have pretty much confirmed this. But people not only like to be out with their dogs, and kind of bond with their pet.
Right.
But they like to be out with others with their dogs.
Yeah.
As you've
It's
obviously
a
found.
common ground, right?
Sure.
I mean,
I've just known some pet owners to be kind of antisocial.
Oh, is that right?
Sure.
Okay.
Because they have their pet.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's like, well, I can't. I'm not married, but you know what? I got old Betsy here, or old Buster, or whatever. And so I'm
Okay.
happy with my pet.
And you know what? That would be okay too. Typically that isn't what I've experienced. But if someone just wanted to be out with their dog and not socialize, that's okay too. But most people do tend to. It's really hard. It's almost like you can't help yourself when you have a dog, because the dogs come together and you start talking to people.
Well, that makes sense. The dog single, or the singles event with the dogs, then, because if you're out walking your dog and so is someone else, and the dogs happen to find each other attractive, and then certainly the humans do too.
Yes.
It just sort of lends itself nicely to singles.
It
Although
absolutely does.
It might be distracting, it also lends itself nicely to it, correct?
Yeah,
And
I find that. And people tend to be, and studies would support this as well, more calm and at ease when they have their canine by their side. And there's tons of studies on that. When people pet dogs, their heart rate goes down.
I know they have them in hospitals and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, they're therapeutic. So it really, I feel like it's a great
Have you done non-dog singles events?
Mm-mm.
Have you been to one?
I haven't.
I'd be interested to see the difference between like a normal speed dating and your canine speed dating.
I can speak to that a little bit from the feedback that I've received, because I've had people that have gone to both, and what they have said, of course, that their experience with mine was much better. But they talked about, and this is something that I've witnessed to be true as well, that my events attract really quality people, because dog owners are going to be responsible, caring, compassionate, usually fun.
And if they're not going to take their dog out.
Right, exactly. So I truly have found that my events attract really quality people. And because people, you see the speed dating things in the movies and on TV, and people are like, oh my gosh, that looks like a nightmare, because they always make it out to exaggerate everything. But people that have gone to my events have loved it, and typically come back. So.
Well, they're fun because you're out with other dogs. You're mingling. It's not a bar scene. So there's not that kind of.
The pressure's down.
Yeah, not everyone's dressed to the nines trying to
it's more casual.
But have you had any? How long have you been doing the matchmaking, the singles canine event?
For about 1.5 years.
And do you have any success stories?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I do. I have a couple that's been together for 1.5 years. They met at my very first event, and I'm just waiting for the news that they're engaged, because they're doing fabulous and very much in love, and have been together for 1.5 years.
Wow,
and there's
right
been quite a few. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good feedback. I was just going to say, it's like from the very start.
Yeah.
Got a great couple. Right out of the gate, you knew that this was a good thing.
Right. Yeah. And I've gotten a lot of other feedback of shorter term relationships here and there, where people have dated for maybe 3 months, 6 months. I just had someone email me actually today that went to an event about 2 months ago and said, we are so happy together, this couple that came together. So I'll be curious to see how that goes. Hopefully they'll hang in there. So there has been really good success.
Well, cool. Well, while we're talking about it, and while people at home are probably chomping at the bit, wondering how the heck can I go to one of these dog social, singles deals?
Right.
Why don't we hop on the old, computer?
Absolutely.
And show people your website, K9, letter K, number 9. -connection, and I'll have it on the bottom of the screen too for us.
Perfect.
I'm good with technology like that.
I like that, Brandon.
Go to the website, and this is it that you're seeing right here. You join the email list. You'll then be alerted to the events that go on, whether it be a social event or whether it be a singles thing. Basically that's sort of it right there, right? That's sort of the gateway to the to connecting with your organization.
Exactly. Best thing is joining the email list. If you go to the top, that's where events are posted.
Oh, okay. Events are
so you can go to the events